I first heard about Papan over a year ago in a conversation with Captain Jack, an amazing artist from Batu Gajah. Since I have been almost 100 times discovering something new each time. So what is so amazing about Papan? Most people, including Perakian, never been to Papan. One of the reasons is that there's nothing to eat there. The village is considered a ghost place off any major road. However, for me, it is one of the most fascinating places in Malaysia. The road through sugarcane and palm plantation leads you first to the Chinese cemetery and the adjacent Wan Yi temple that has quite a lot of interesting relics. It's worth visiting, especially when the caretaker is present. After a few hundred meters further down the road, the first of the more or less 50 houses left over from the tin rush appears. In spite of the decay, still 4 persons live there happily. The remaining houses are all in very different states and condition, but all have a fascinating character to me. For those who take the time to observe, lots of things to discover. Colors, light, shadows, vestige are simply stunning. Inside and outside the building, trees, roots, plants have invaded the wall. Trees claw their way up to old stone wall, looking like tentacles of a giant octopus. One of the houses, number 74, was hosting the clinic of Sibyl Katigasu, hero during the Japanese occupation. Another one used to be a barber shop and offers fabulous light and shadow early morning to the photographers and visitors. Before MCO, 3 shops were still operating. Today, they're very low profile or close. On the left side of the main road, the traditional communist time houses are still intact and have inhabitants enjoying a simple life, like Mr. Chang, somebody who tried so hard to promote Papan, and Mrs. Achoy, one of the elders of the village, for example. On the other side of the road, just a few meters away, stands a very different construction. The Rajabila Rumah Besa belongs to the family of the founder of the village during the timber times and before the discovery of massive tin horse. The Mandailing, coming from Indonesia, ruled the village from the middle of the 19th century. One of the descendants still live next door in a small wooden house with her helper. She kindly opened the door of the Rumah Besa for us exceptionally when we came with some of her family members last September. We were so honored to see this amazing place. A testimony of the timber past before tin was discovered. In front, One of the eldest mosques in Perak is still standing strong. There were plans to turn the building into a museum, but it was abandoned sadly by the government. All around the villages, vestige of the tin extraction reminds the visitor about the prestigious past of Papan. Papan was a center of tin extraction and a very vibrant village. Further up the road, a beautiful river flows down through the forest with very nice cascades. Every evening, flocks of egrets fly over Papan before sundown, offering, depending on the weather conditions, a spectacular show. There's a lot to discover and to admire if you take the time and respect the inhabitants, the environment, and the vestige of Papan. There's a lot more to say about the history, about the present, about the past, and maybe about the future. But my intention here is to give you an impression of Papan. The village, its inhabitants, its environment are at a crucial stage. Buildings are falling apart. Investors start to consider changing the area. Some buildings were renovated and have lost their charm. More and more visitors are coming, but I'm not sure that this is what the population wants. Lots of challenges ahead, as usual. Yet, Papan is a fascinating place. I'm only a witness, giving his testimony on photography and through this video. Only time will tell what Papan will become.